Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the singing of the national and state anthems. This will be followed by an invocation given by Chaplain Christopher Guadis.
Please bow your heads in prayer with me. Lord of the seasons of life, we come honoring Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi, who has entered our lives in various ways and soon will hang up his uniform to begin another of life's seasons. His departure makes us reflective and truly grateful for the time that you blessed us with his great leadership. We thank you for Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi's selfless service to our country and the great state of Hawaii. We thank you for his dedication and untiring devotion to duty. May he be justly proud of his accomplishments and the part he has played in keeping America free and our communities safe. Give him and his family a long life to enjoy the fruits of his labor. May he leave the service to the Hawaii National Guard with his head held high, knowing that he will be truly missed. Bless him and his family this special day. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen and honored guests, welcome to Washington Place, a National Historic Landmark spanning over 160 years, perhaps known best as the home of Queen Liliuokalani, who lived here for 55 years and since 1922 has served as the official residence of the Governor of Hawaii. First, an introduction of the principals for today's ceremony. Presiding over this ceremony is the Adjutant General, State of Hawaii, Major General Kenneth S. Hara, and his spouse, Myong. Our honoree, Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi, is joined today by his wife, Erin, his daughter, Sophia, and his son, Ethan. Also, his mother Karen and father Paul. Mother-in-law Cynthia Sue and father-in-law Guy Sue. Welcome to the retirement ceremony honoring Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi's 32 years of illustrious service from May 9th, 1991 to December 31st, 2023, of which the last 24 years have been in the Hawaii Army National Guard. We will recognize our distinguished attendees present today. Please hold all applause until the end. Representing Senator Mazie Hirono, Mr. Carlos Santana, Community Liaison Representative for Senator Hirono. Representing U.S. Representative Ed Case, Mr. Nestor Garcia, Communications Director for Representative Case. The Honorable Sylvia Luke, Lieutenant Governor, State of Hawaii. Major General Mark Hashimoto, Mobilization Assistant to the Commander, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. Representing Major General Joseph Harris, Commander, Hawaii Air National Guard, his spouse Sarah. Command Chief Master Sergeant Mae Martin, Hawaii Air National Guard. Major General Retired Suzanne Vereslam, former Mobilization Assistant to the Commander, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, and currently the President of the East-West Center, and her spouse. Oh, he's not here today. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Courtney. Major General Retired Gary Hara, former Deputy Commanding General, U.S. Army Pacific, and his spouse Diane. Major General Retired Robert Lee, former Adjutant General, State of Hawaii. Major General Retired Vern Miyagi, former Mobilization Assistant to the Commander, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. Brigadier General Stephen Logan, Deputy Adjutant General, State of Hawaii, as well as the Commander of the Hawaii Army National Guard and his spouse Darcy. Brigadier General Gavin Gardner, Director for Logistics, Engineering, and Security Cooperation, J4, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command. Brigadier General Walter Ross Jr., Director of the Joint Staff, Hawaii National Guard. Brigadier General Retired Moses Kauivi Jr., former Director of the Joint Staff, Hawaii National Guard. Brigadier General Retired Keith Tamashiro, former Commander, Hawaii Army National Guard. Brigadier General Retired Bruce Oliveira, former Commander, Hawaii Army National Guard. Brigadier General Retired Brian Bowers, former Assistant Chief of Staff, G5, 8th Army. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming these distinguished guests. I will now read you a portion of Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi's biography. Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi was commissioned through the Army Reserve Officer Training Corps upon graduation from the University of Southern California as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. He has served in numerous positions, including Commander, Headquarters Support Company 411th Engineer Battalion, Commander 298th Engineers, Brigade Engineer 29th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, Balad, Iraq, Deputy Commander 29th Brigade Special Troops Battalion, Camp Virginia, Kuwait, Commander 29th BSTB, Commander Chemical, Biological, Radiological, Nuclear, and Explosive Enhanced Response Force Package, Deputy Chief of Staff for Personnel, Hawaii Army National Guard, Director of Manpower and Personnel, J1 Joint Forces Headquarters, Hawaii National Guard, Commander 103rd Troop Command, Deputy Chief of Staff for Logistics, Harang, Chief of Staff, Harang, and Mobilization Assistant to the Director, Logistics and Engineer Directorate, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, Camp Smith, Hawaii. His civilian education includes a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from USC and a Master of Business Administration from the Executive MBA program at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. He is also a Senior Service College graduate from the U.S. Army War College Fellowship Program at Duke University, Sanford School of Public Policy, and the Senior Executives in State and Local Government Program at Harvard University, John F. Kennedy School of Government. Some of his awards include the Defense Superior Service Medal, Legion of Merit, Bronze Star, Meritorious Service Medal with 3 bronze oak leaf clusters, Army Commendation Medal with 1 bronze oak leaf cluster, Army Achievement Medal with 1 bronze oak leaf cluster, Air Achievement Medal, and the Combat Action Badge. Let's give him a round of applause for those incredible achievements. There's actually like 6 paragraphs on that. We had to shorten it. The tag is like, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Adjutant General, State of Hawaii, Kenneth Hara, for his remarks.
Thanks, Jeff. Lieutenant Governor Luke, Carlos Santana, Nestor Garcia, fellow general officers, I gotta say that because there's so many doggone generals here today. I don't know who's protecting our country. Even the retirees came out for you, Neal. Great to see all of you. But mahalo to especially the family of Neal Mitsuyoshi, the Mitsuyoshi Ohana, Kajiyama, and Sue, for supporting Neal throughout his career, because without your support, he would not be successful. So thank you for everything that you did for him. So we're here to honor Neal, as the MC talked about, with over 32 years of service. This is my first retirement ceremony I'm actually presiding over. I've done hundreds, I'm talking hundreds of promotion ceremonies and changes of command. So I didn't know what to talk about. And I knew Neal was probably going to talk about how he is what he is because of everyone here, especially his family. And he always says, Okage Samade, which is, I am what I am because of you. And he'll probably talk more about his history and everything. So I was like, what the heck what is my theme? So my theme is going to be how Neal is extremely intelligent. Those that know him, he's very, very meticulous and very organized and extremely diligent. But what you don't know is he's a really slow learner, as intelligent as he is. It all started, he grew up in Hilo. He had the opportunity to go to Waiakea High School, but he went to Hilo instead. I mean, talk about starting off wrong. You could have got like a district exemption at your grandma's house. Help teach sewing. But then after he graduated from high school, he went on to University of Southern California, getting his Bachelor of Science degree in engineering. General engineering, but then his roommate and a whole bunch of students would walk around campus in Army uniforms. It was like, what the heck is that about? So he started asking his roommate, and the roommate explained to him, oh, that's the Reserve Officer Training Corps program that upon completion, when you graduate from high school, you also get your commission in the U.S. Army. He was like, oh, that's a great idea. So kind of late start, he decided to join the military, but then he joined the Army Reserve. There's General Bowers, and General Lee. What the heck, right? Took him almost over 9 years to realize the best deal is the Hawaii National Guard. Slow learner. So joining the Guard, Neal in his bio, they talked about he commanded from the company. I think he did 2 company commands, right? One in the Army Reserve, one in the National Guard. Then battalion command, brigade level command, and now a general officer with U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, so extremely successful. But here's another missed opportunity. So he could have gone to the prestigious U.S. Army War College, but then, no, he goes to Duke University. Slow learner. I'm kidding. So, and then finally, I think a lot of you know that it took Neal a long time to find the dream of his life, the love of his life in Aaron. So I guess sometimes waiting for great things is the right thing to do because you have a wonderful family. So I'll end it here. Congratulations to you, but the chaplain made some mistakes. They said, we're seeing Neal leave and everything. No, he still works in my department. I'm still, you gotta get back to work after this. Congratulations, aloha.
Oh, good job, sir. You can do a lot of these. That's pretty funny. That's good. All right. Thank you, General Hara. Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi, can you join Major General Hara in the front for the publishing of the retirement orders, followed by the presentation of congratulatory certificates and letters. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated while the orders are published. Attention to orders. Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi, you are retired from the United States Army and released from assignment on 31 December 2023. The people of the United States express their thanks and gratitude for your faithful service. Your contributions to the defense of the United States of America are greatly appreciated. Signed, Barbara P. Tucker, Colonel, Military Personnel Officer. All right. Now we're going to get to the congratulatory certificates and letters. The Presidential Letter of Appreciation for more than 30 years of service. I extend the sincere thanks of a grateful nation for your many years of exemplary service in the Army National Guard. Your patriotic devotion to duty in times of peace and war is inspiring, and it speaks volumes about your commitment to serving our country. In your career, you have looked beyond your own comfort and safety to protect the lives and way of life of those you have never met. That exceptional spirit of sacrifice marks the values of the men and women of the armed forces and their families. Your courage and selflessness are values each American look to as we work to keep this nation's dream alive for future generations. Signed, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President, United States. United States flag and certificate. Now we're going to get to the certificate of retirement. From the Armed Forces of the United States of America, to all who shall see these presents, greeting. Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Army on the 31st day of December 2023. Signed, General, U.S. Army Chief of Staff, Randy E. George. Congratulatory certificate from the Chief, National Guard Bureau. National Guard Bureau Certificate of Service is awarded to Brigadier General Neal Mitsuyoshi in recognition of 32 years of service in the Armed Forces of the United States, including 24 years of service in the National Guard. Signed, Daniel R. Hokinson, Chief, National Guard Bureau. The congratulatory letter from U.S. Senator Mazie Hirono. Certificate of Special Congressional Recognition from the United States Senator Mazie K. Hirono is presented to Brigadier General Neal Mitsuyoshi with sincere gratitude and appreciation for 32 years of dedicated service to the State of Hawaii Department of Defense. Congratulatory letter from U.S. Senator Brian Schatz. I extend my personal greetings of aloha and congratulations on your retirement. Throughout your 32 years of service, your leadership has made a meaningful impact on those around you, serving on multiple deployments in Iraq and Kuwait. You provided valuable support to our military operations overseas. Your work with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers also helped to strengthen and maintain our infrastructure across our state. Congratulations on your retirement. I join your family, friends, and colleagues in celebrating your achievements and saying mahalo. Best wishes in your future endeavors. Signed, Brian Schatz, United States Senator. Congratulatory letter from U.S. Representative Ed Case. Presented to Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi on the occasion of your retirement after 32 years of dedicated service with the State of Hawaii Department of Defense. Signed on the 13th day of December, 2023, Ed Case, U.S. Congressman. Governor Letter of Commendation. It is a pleasure to extend my congratulations on your retirement after more than 32 years of dedicated service to the military and the people of Hawaii. During your career with the Department of Defense, you have served the people of Hawaii faithfully and well. Your dedication to public service is deeply appreciated, and I extend to you my highest commendation and gratitude for a job well done. Signed, Josh Green, MD, Governor, State of Hawaii. And this is followed up with a Hawaii flag presentation. The State of Hawaii flag accompanying the certificate was flown at the Hawaii State Capitol on January 25th, 2023 in honor of Neal Mitsuyoshi and to commemorate his retirement from the Hawaii Army National Guard. Mahalo for your years of dedicated service to our state and nation. Signed, Josh Green, MD, Governor, State of Hawaii. The best one. Tag letter. You did good. What? That's that Waiakea education. Congratulations on your retirement after more than 32 years of distinguished and dedicated service. You served as an outstanding leader and role model that always set the pace for our officer corps. You instilled values in our young officers and soldiers, which will play a significant role in maintaining the Hawaii Army National Guard's high standards far into the future. Your knowledge and experience made a tremendous contribution to the entire Hawaii Army National Guard, and I want to thank you for your many accomplishments and support. Sincerely, Kenneth S. Hara, Major General, Hawaii National Guard, Adjutant General. Aaron, would you please join your husband in the front? The Certificate of Appreciation for the Service Member Spouse. Certificate of Appreciation, this one is presented to Mrs. Erin Mitsuyoshi on this occasion of the retirement of your spouse from the United States Army, and has earned grateful appreciation for your own unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Your unfailing support and understanding helped make possible your spouse's long-lasting contribution to the nation. Signed, Randy A. George, United States Army Chief of Staff. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, sir. All right. Brigadier General Gardner and Senior Master Sergeant Webster will present a gift to Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi from the U.S. Indo-PACOM J4. In great honor of Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi, let it be known that this flag of the United States of America was flown over its headquarters, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, on 11 November 2023, Veterans Day. It symbolizes the honor, commitment, and courage with which you served our country. May it be a constant reminder of your exceptional leadership and invaluable contributions, ensuring a free and open Indo-Pacific. Wishing you and the family a fulfilling and peaceful retirement ahead. Thank you, Brigadier General Gardner and Senior Master Sergeant Webster. Can I get Major Dale Bossis, Commander of the 227 Engineers, to come forward? He will present the Bronze de Fleury Medal. It will be presented to Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi. The de Fleury Medal honors and recognizes those individuals who have provided significant contributions to Army engineering. The medal also emphasizes the history, customs, and traditions of the Corps of Engineer community. This medal is named for, see, I can practice Hawaiian names, okay. French engineer Francois Louis Tecedre de Fleury, a French engineer who served with the American Army in its fight for independence from Britain during the American Revolutionary War. The Continental Congress appointed de Fleury a captain of engineers, and he quickly proved himself through courage under fire. On October 1, 1779, the Continental Congress praised de Fleury for his valor and courage under fire at the Battle of Stony Point, New York in 1779, and ordered that a medal be struck in his honor. On the obverse side of the medal is a Latin inscription meaning a memorial and reward for courage and boldness. In the center appears the image of a helmeted soldier standing amidst the ruins of a fort, holding in his right hand an unsheathed sword, and in his left staff of the enemy's flag, which he tramples underfoot. On the reverse, again in Latin, fortifications, marshes, enemies overcome. In the center of the fortress at Stony Point is depicted with both turrets and a flag flying. At the base of the hill are 2 shore batteries, one of which is firing at one of 6 vessels on the Hudson River. Beneath the fort is the legend, Stony Point carried by storm, July 15, 1779. The Army Engineer Association, on behalf of the Engineer Regiment, is proud to award the Bronze Order of the de Fleury Medal to Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi for inspirational leadership to the United States Army Corps of Engineers. For 32 years of superior service in the United States Army Engineer Regiment from 1991 to 2023, Brigadier General Neal Mitsuyoshi embodies the Essayon spirit, professional competence, and devotion symbolic of an engineer officer. Your outstanding leadership and mentorship to the Engineer Regiment has made a long-lasting and positive impact. Your service to the nation that reflects great credit upon yourself, the Hawaii Army National Guard, the Engineer Regiment, and the United States Army Essayons.
Sir, on behalf of the 57th Brigade Engineer Battalion, the Mahalo Alumni Association, and all the soldiers, NCOs, and officers of the Engineering Regiment, the Hawaii National Guard, thank you for your leadership and mentorship these past 32 years. So I've never actually served under General Mitsuyoshi, But he always took the time to mentor me and just talk story, not just me, but all the engineers in the Guard, and I'm grateful for that. I know all of them are grateful for that as well, sir. So thank you for being that rising tide and just raising that level of professionalism, excellence, and officership for the Engineer Regiment. Opangin Sabade, Pegamolo, and Esians.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you Brigadier General Neal S. Mitsuyoshi. Sir.
Whew. I think I feel a little taller already. You know, I don't think I'm the typical general officer. I always tell this one joke about being an introvert. You know, like how do you tell a engineer introvert from an engineer extrovert? Well, an engineer introvert looks at his feet when he's talking to you, and an engineer extrovert looks at your feet when he's talking to you. But it's just you know, it's just a great day for me and my family, and just to see all of these people that have been such an important part of my life. I'm gonna probably stick to my prepared remarks. So, aloha and good morning, Major General Hara and Mrs. Hara, Command Chief, Master Sergeant Fox, Mr. Santana, Carlos, you know, just appreciate you being here, my friend. Nestor, thanks for being here, appreciate it. And Lieutenant Governor, you know, you've always had time for me, even back when you were in the legislature, and I really appreciate you being here, and I know my daughter is really excited to meet you. Major General Harris and Mrs. Harris, and of course, Command Chief, Master Sergeant Martin, you know, thank you for always being supportive. You and the Air Guard have done nothing but support me throughout my career. Major General, actually, Gardner and Mrs. Gardner, Lisa. You know, for those of you that don't know, I know we're calling, the MC's calling General Gardner Brigadier General, but actually he was selected and promoted. He is a Major General in the U.S. Army, and you just couldn't be happier for you, Gavin. Major General retired Varisalum. I'm gonna save my discussion for you later. Major retired Hashimoto, Major General Hashimoto, Major retired General Gary Hara and Mrs. Hara. Sir, you know, you've just known me since I was a captain back in the 103rd Troop Command, and you're my first commander, and you've attended practically every single important event in my life. So Aaron and I just truly appreciate your and Diane's support over the years. Major General Lee, I just appreciate everything you do, the phone calls you give me. It's just been remarkable. And Major General Retired Miyagi, sir, thank you for the way you've always treated me and my parents. I know they're excited to talk to you. And of course, Brigadier General Logan, my other boss on my full-time side, and Darcy. Senior enlisted leaders, fellow service members, veterans, retirees, family, and friends. Thank you for sharing your precious time today to be here with me and my family. I know how busy everyone is, and it just means the world to us. Before I get started, I'd like to thank Chief Jamie Imai and the soldiers and the airmen and the governor's staff, Nancy Amarico, and everyone else that helped put this ceremony together. Chief, I really appreciate you. And that goes for Major General Retired Jeff Hickman and his PAO team, Andy. Thanks, Jeff, and thanks, Chaplain Guadiz. I always appreciate your thoughtful words, and appreciate you always being there for my ceremonies. And quickly, General Hara, sir, thank you for those kind words. Thanks for not making me too embarrassed up here. And especially for hosting this event. You know, Aaron and I just appreciate you and Myung. You've always been so gracious to us. Things have not been normal these past few years, and the responsibilities you have had to endure have been unprecedented. Thank you for your leadership, thank you for your mentorship, and most of all, thank you for your friendship throughout the years. Your guidance and advice have always been meaningful, sometimes a little hard, and but always well intended. And I'm smiling a little bit because I know you call it mentorship, but I swear sometimes it feels like scoldings. Thank you for your trust and your faith in me, sir. I wouldn't be here without you. Anyone that's heard me give prepared remarks before knows two things. One, that I can be a little long, and two, that I can be a little emotional. Well, I have to apologize up front because I'm going to fail in that category of short remarks. After all, I'm a product of my dear friend, Brigadier General Moses Kawivi. I love you, Mo. And after 33 years, there's a lot of important people that I need to acknowledge. But I did try to address the emotional problem. I actually Googled what to do in order to avoid tearing in speeches. You can find, it's amazing, you can find anything on Google. So if you see me drinking water, which I better put up here now, swallowing or taking a deep breath, or just simply avoiding eye contact, you'll know why. The last 32 years and 7 months of my life have been both deeply rewarding and extremely humbling. They feel like an eternity and a blink all at the same time. Looking back, it's hard to believe how lucky I have been to have had a very charismatic future lawyer for a college roommate. General Hara kind of referred to him. His name is Charlie Chong. And he might be watching from Korea. He convinced me to join the Army ROTC program at USC. Literally, if not for Charlie, I would have missed out on the honor of my life, serving this great nation and supporting the great people of this great state. I would have missed the responsibilities of being part of so many great units like the 103rd Troop Command, the 29th Infantry Brigade, and the 9th MSC. The honor of deploying to Iraq and Kuwait under phenomenal commanders like Major General retired Joe Chavez, Brigadier General retired Bruce Oliveira, and Brigadier General retired Kawivi. The privilege of training and straining side by side with the finest men and women in the Hawaii Army National Guard. The opportunity to serve at U.S. Indo-Pacific Command alongside our sister services in the Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force, alongside with our global allies and partners. The duty to help those in need and support the people of Hawaii in times of disaster. And the love of being an engineer officer. Those times I got to be an Army engineer were probably the happiest times for me. So thanks, Dale. That DeFleury medal was really unexpected, and I just like, it's the most important award to me, so thank you. I've just been incredibly blessed and lucky to have not missed being a small part of all of that. For me today, it's about being grateful and saying thank you, because each of you here today is responsible for who I am and whatever success, whatever small, really, success I've achieved. I started my career in the U.S. Army Reserves in the 411 Engineer Battalion. And I'm very grateful to be here today, to have with me today one of my former battalion commanders and an old friend and mentor, Brigadier General retired Bowers. Brian, it's just really good for you to show up today. And two longtime friends from the 411th platoon leaders, Colonel retired Sam Embrery and Colonel retired Stuart Tomasa. Most in the Hawaii Guard know Colonel Tomasa. He's someone I've known and shared a friendship with my entire military career. Stu was a catalyst that led to then Adjutant General Major General Richardson bringing me over to the Guard from the reserves as his engineer. So to all my fellow Guard members, I guess you can blame Stuart Tomasa. Thanks, Stu. I definitely wouldn't be here without you. And thanks, Brian and Sam, for being here. One of my very first assignments was a project in Korea, a task to build a 16,000 square foot case-span warehouse. The project was twice as large as any we've ever attempted in the battalion. And I won't go into any details, but after all the CPMs were completed and all the plans were approved by the commander and the troops were motivated and ready, The night before, I'm meeting with my platoon sergeant, Sergeant First Class James Luster, a seasoned veteran. I'm a young, inexperienced lieutenant, barely out of school, with a fired-up platoon ready to go, and he and I were really close. And to be honest, the thought somehow came out of my mouth. I don't know why, but I told him, "Do you think we can do this?" Not my finest moment. But you know what Sergeant First Class Luster told me? He said, "Sir, the plan is good. We got this." And true to his word, the project goes as scheduled. We finished early, and I had firsthand experience on why NCOs were called the backbone of our Army. They are the ones that make it happen. They provide the discipline and the experience, and they are the whispers on an officer's shoulder. "Sir, we got this." This is just an example, but I've been fortunate to have been always surrounded by NCOs and enlisted like James Luster, Francis Tawa, Robert Pereira, Ian Ross, Alan Tudela, Robert Balatico, Thomas Odiardi, Brett Moore, Sonny Patak, Marge Webster, Mel Tokuda, Tanika Lewis, and I could go on. Thank you for always having my back. And this is just as true for our technical experts, our warrant officers. I wouldn't be here without you. To my fellow officers, officers are always responsible to lead and plan. And I've been blessed to always have been surrounded by exceptional talent. There are many colonels, some of the best that are sitting right here in front of me today, that I'm sure could have done my job given the opportunity. Having served in all three components in the Army, in the reserves, the National Guard, and on active duty, and having the opportunity to work in a unified combatant command, it's easy to see why our Army is the best in the world. I've been fortunate to always been surrounded by talented officers like Walter Ross, Thomas James, Tracy Omori, Tyson Tahara, Dino Rajan, Mark Young, Wes Kawakami, Lynn Ishii, Paul Agena, Dave Hatcher, John Udani, Pamela Ellison, Chris Coggins, Troy Pugh, Jay Lutz, Isaac Floyd, Phoebe Eagle, Norm Smithers, Kuna Mendoka, Shali, and again, I could go on, but thank you for allowing me to mention some of those names. I wish I could name them all. I would not be here without you. There are also 5 fellow general officers, one active and one and the rest in retirement, that I'd like to single out. They are Steve Logan, Bruce Oliveira, Moses Kawivi, Joseph Kim, and Keith Tamashiro. I've had the honor and pleasure of working directly under all 5 of these remarkable, outstanding generals. They have always been selfless in their support and lifelong friends. Steve, Bruce, Mo, Joe, and Keith, I am what I am because of you. Thank you. And to the senior leaders at US Indo-PACOM, Major General Hashimoto, and teammates in the J4, my current military Ohana, being part of the Logistics and Engineering Directorate has been the duty of my life. I've thoroughly enjoyed working for the J4's Major General Helwig and Major General Gardner. They both epitomize the type of leaders our country needs and deserves. And I'm so happy to see both of them continue to rise. Sir Gavin, thank you for your leadership and friendship. It's been an honor closing my career with you. Better people, and I wouldn't be here without you. See, your website echoes the same for you and the rest of the J4 front office. Thanks for being the J4's heart. I couldn't have succeeded without you, Tina, Captain Phillips, Major King, Sergeant Lewis, and YN2. And to the entire J4 Ohana, thank you for everything you do every day. Most outside don't realize how consequential the region is, or that the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command is the largest geographic combatant command in our military, covering over half the world's surface, with over 50% of the world's population that's projected to reach about 70% by 2050. It carries 60% of the world's GDP, 6 of the 10 largest armies in the world, and not to mention 3 of our most concerning adversaries. Supporting posture priorities, building relationships with our communities in Hawaii, and working with our allies and partners has been incredibly humbling and fulfilling work. So thank you, Gavin, Senior, and the entire J4 Ohana. I wouldn't be here without you. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Lieutenant General Ron Clark and Major General retired Suzanne Verslow. General Clark, you and Simone always treated Aaron and I like family, and you have been an inspiration on how to lead with diversity and inclusion at every command you've served since our time at Duke. And General Verslow, Hawaii and the Hawaii Guard could not ask for a better leader and legacy of what right looks like. Who would have thought when we were standing in front of a mosque or constructing a skiff in Iraq where we would have ended up? Truly amazing. I appreciate you, and you know I wouldn't be here without you. And my final thanks goes to my family. To my mom and dad. Where do I start with the 2 most important and influential people in my life? Dad, thank you for teaching me that hard work can get you everything, and for instilling the values of discipline. I love you, and being a dad myself, there is no greater appreciation that I can give you than to say that I couldn't be prouder to be your son. And Mom, thank you for always being that mother's shoulder. You showed me that anything is possible and instilled a lifelong desire for learning. You are always the wise one. Okage-sama de. To the Sioux family, my second family, the Sioux Ohana. Here today, Nicole, Joe, Noah, Colette, and especially my mother-in-law, Cynthia, and my father-in-law, Guy. You do so many small and enormous things that make all the difference. But what I am most grateful for is that you not only look after and support me, but you always look after what's most important to me, my family. I can see why Erin is who she is today, and I'm forever grateful to you. And finally, the 3 most important people in my life. I have a note here that says, remember, drink water. So I'm gonna drink water. No Army officer is successful without their family, and I have been blessed. I've said this many times to my soldiers, the only thing better than being a soldier in the Army is being a husband and a father to a family. Thank you for not only what you give, but for all that you have given up to support me, to support our nation, and to support our state. To our wonderful kids, Sophie and Ethan, thank you for growing up so well. You make me proud every day. You being here today really means the world to me, and I'm sorry that you're missing school. I appreciate everything you do, from the notes and art to the way you rush to greet me at the door when I come home. You give perspective on why sacrifices are made and why they are worth it. I love you both more than you know. And finally, Erin, my best friend, my rock. I couldn't imagine doing this without you by my side. It just wouldn't be as fun or as meaningful. You simply are the most amazing woman I know. Gavin hears it all the time. Every time he asks me, how's Erin doing? I tell him, I don't know how she does it. You're a wonderful mother and a fabulous husband, wife. Yeah, she's amazing. She can do it all. You work full-time and excel at your own career. You somehow find the time to be back at school at Berkeley, getting your MBA, and yet you always are there for me, making sacrifices for my career. You are my rock. The kite, the rock that keeps this kite grounded. I love you more than you will ever know. Okage-sama de, I truly am what I am because of you. In closing, yes, it's the end. Thank you again for sharing this day with us and allowing us just a small moment to express our appreciation and gratitude. Mahalo nui loa, ahui ho, and Okage-sama de. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'd like to conclude today's ceremony. Please rise for the benediction given by Chaplain Guadiz and remain standing for the playing of the Army Song.
A prayer of blessing for Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi and his family. May the God of grace, peace, and mercy go with you into the challenges of the future. And may he give you the zest and energy to succeed in the next chapter of your life. May he protect you and cover you with his mighty hands now and forevermore. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. This concludes the formal ceremony. Brigadier General Mitsuyoshi and his family will be taking photos in the front for the next 15 minutes. The line for photos will begin on the right side here. Give us a couple minutes to do family pictures first. And they also wanted to make sure they invite you to the back because he has an incredible spread and you can kind of smell it. So please partake of that. On behalf of Major General Hara, Brigadier Mitsuyoshi and his family, mahalo nui loa for attending today's ceremony. Thank you.